As we move closer towards the much-awaited consecration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, we should not forget how a cabal of politically motivated historians pushed false narratives to mislead the country on the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi issue. As archaeologist K.K. Muhammad writes in his autobiography, in the 1990s, when there was a raging debate on a certain disputed structure in Ayodhya, Marxist historians and their supporters saw it as a good occasion to make hay while the sun shines. Here is a look back along the years at the many instances when leftist historians created chaos and confusion in the Ayodhya debate to the detriment of Hindus. Leftist historians joined the Ayodhya debate in November 1989 when they released a booklet on the case. Professors S. Gopal, Romila Thapar and Bipin Chandra headed the list of signatories. These historians argued that Ayodhya's rise as a major center of Ram worship was relatively recent, only from the 13th century. They also questioned the fact that Muslim rulers were opposed to the temples and other sacred places of Hindus, despite the overwhelming evidence of temple destruction at these invaders' hands. Professor R.S. Sharma claimed that the invader Babur was a lover of Hindu art and architecture. Some of these historians even appeared as experts on behalf of the Sunni Waqf board during negotiations with the Hindu side and the Indian government. Yet, throughout the saga, they maintained the charade of being independent historians. They even wanted the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid site to be declared a national monument. They asserted that the Babri Masjid was built on vacant land and not by demolishing a temple. But the findings of excavations carried out in the year 1976-77 under archaeologist B.B. Lal demolishes the left historians' claim. Archaeologist K.K. Muhammad was a part of the team and was the only Muslim to have participated in that excavation. K.K. Muhammad writes that the 12 pillars used for the Babri Masjid were actually temple pillars from the 11th to 12th centuries. He also notes that there was a defaced Hindu sculpture embedded in a wall of the mosque. Excavations behind the mosque revealed more brick bases which once supported the temple's pillars, making it clear that the Babri Masjid was built on top of a demolished temple. When the ASI conducted its excavations in 2003, it too found more evidence of a temple underneath the disputed structure. These historians then began to claim that what was unearthed was not a temple but a mosque or a stupa. The Vishnuhari inscription dated to the 12th century, discovered from the Babri Masjid site, also gave proof of a temple's presence at the site before the mosque was built. But for over 2 decades, left historians, mainly Professor Irfan Habib, mounted a forceful campaign claiming that this inscription was in fact the Treta Ka Thakur inscription that was stolen from Lucknow Museum and planted at Ayodhya. This claim was busted when photographs of the Treta Ka Thakur inscription and the Vishnuhari inscription were published by IPS officer Kishore Kunal, conclusively establishing that the two inscriptions were in fact different and not the same. The left historians conveniently ignored the several Mughal documents, writings of European travelers and colonial-era British documents that mentioned the site being revered by Hindus as the sacred birthplace of God Ram. But there is more. When the eminent historians appeared before the Allahabad High Court, their true nature was exposed. Supriya Verma, an expert who challenged the ASI excavations, had not read the ground-penetrating radar survey report. Verma and Jaya Menon, another expert, were not present at the time of the actual excavations but alleged that the pillar bases at the excavated sites were somehow planted. Suvira Jaiswal says, "Whatever knowledge I gained with respect to the disputed site is based on newspaper reports or what others told." She also confessed that she prepared a report on the Babri dispute after reading newspaper reports and on the basis of discussion with my medieval history expert in my department. Jaiswal made an important clarification. "I am not giving my statement on oath regarding Babri Mosque without any probe and not on the basis of my knowledge. Rather, I am giving the statement on the basis of my opinion." Archaeologist Shireen Ratnagar admitted she did not have any field experience as far as Babri was concerned and had written an introduction to the book of another expert who deposed before the court, namely Professor D. Mandal. Professor D. Mandal, another expert witness for the Waqf board, admitted he wrote his book Ayodhya Archaeology after demolition without even visiting Ayodhya. Mandal, a self-confessed member of the Communist Party, also admitted that whatsoever little knowledge I have of Babur is only that Babur was a ruler of the 16th century. Except for this, I do not have any knowledge of Babur. The utter lack of knowledge shown by these so-called experts shows not only the levels to which the left academia has fallen, but also how they blatantly lied, peddled propaganda, and misused their status as eminent intellectuals to further a political and anti-Hindu agenda. No matter what hard evidence they were confronted with, people like Irfan, Habib, and Romila Thapar just kept on lambasting the Hindu side for distorting history and concocting evidence, when it was actually them doing the distorting and concocting. For them, evidence did not matter. They tried their best to deny justice to Hindus and to prevent righting a historical wrong.